Hey guys, Dr. Clayton Roach here from Adjusting Attitudes, and today I want to give you my personal story as I use it at the end of my doctor's report. So in the last video, we talked about the various steps behind your doctor's report and how to create an amazing doctor report and actually have conversions at the end. We have amazing conversion rates at our doctor's report. We're over 90% all the time, meaning that we get patients in for their initial consultation and exam, we invite them back for the group report, and we convert over 90% of them as new patients in our office. So those are great conversion rates. So I'm basically giving you my tools so that you can mimic what I've done. And today we're going to talk about that personal story. So I'm going to tell you my personal story as I tell it right in front of my group of, sometimes 10, 15 new patients that are standing right there, potential new patients that I need to get them to trust me and know me so that they can convert to chiropractic care. So here goes that story. Tonight I want to tell you how I got started with chiropractic care and how I feel chiropractic chose me, because how many of you know of someone who grew up saying they wanted to be a chiropractor? Now, a lot of people grow up saying they want to be a teacher or a police officer, but not many grow up saying they want to be a chiropractor. And to be frank, it probably never happens. Most of us get into chiropractic care because of a personal story. So I was in year one of my university degree, and I was playing soccer for the university soccer team. And I went into the corner for a ball with a guy that was a little bit bigger than me. And I know I'm a big guy, and you can't imagine somebody being bigger than me. Everybody laughs. But I went in the corner with a big guy, and I was trying to battle to stop the ball from going outside because they would have gotten a corner kick. So I worked very hard. And what happened is, at one point, the guy pushed me a little bit, and I felt this searing pain going down my leg. Now I pummeled to the ground with probably the worst pain I had ever had in my entire life. Pain was going down to my toes, and my toes were curling. I was in so much pain. So the athletic trainers and the trainers came on the field, and they basically said, okay, well, you're done for today. You need to go see the medical doctor tomorrow morning. So as life would have it, we've been conditioned to think that there's God and then there's the medical doctors, and you need to do whatever the medical doctors tell you to do. So what I did is I went to the medical doctor the next morning on campus, and I was in there for 2 minutes, and I came out with a prescription for a muscle relaxer and a painkiller. So again, listening to the medical doctor, that's what I did. I went to the pharmacy and I took these drugs. Now I'm a 4.2 GPA, so I'm not the dimmest bulb on the tree. I was pretty smart, never even came remotely close to failing an exam in my life. And during that week of taking those medications, I nearly failed 3. So that was, something hit me on the side of the head saying, this is not right. This is not something that you should be doing. So I stopped taking those drugs, and I was still in as much pain as I was in the beginning. I'm now a week in, and I'm not sleeping. And I've got exams I need to pass, and I'm walking to university campus with a big backpack on my back with heavy books, and I'm struggling to make it through the week. So I reached out to physiotherapists and massage therapists. I'm now 2 weeks in. I'm not feeling any better. So I didn't know where to turn. And then one day, I'll remember that day forever. I was going up the science department building, and this gentleman was coming down at the same time that I was coming up, and he stopped me and asked me what was wrong because he could obviously see that I was in pain. And I told him the whole story, and he says, you know what, it's funny you mentioned that. You're in pain right now. I was actually a teacher for 10 years, and I'm now back in university to take my science classes to become a chiropractor. My brother is a chiropractor here in town. You should go see him. He's probably going to be able to help you. Not knowing really what chiropractic care was, I wasn't kind of ready to make that commitment. But before I could say no, he had a cell phone out, and I had an appointment that afternoon with his brother who was a chiropractor. So things happen really fast. So I'm there that afternoon to go see the chiropractor. He keeps me in there for an hour. He's examining me for an hour, and I thought, holy geez, this guy's 58 minutes longer than the first guy. He must be on to something. So he took the whole exam, and he told me to come back for a class, which is the exact same class you guys are sitting and listen to, because this class changed my life. So I came to this class. I now understood what chiropractic care was, and that chiropractor then brought me back to go over my individual results and give me my first adjustment. Let me tell you what that adjustment did for me. He adjusted me, I went home, and for the first time now in about 3 weeks, I woke up the next morning, meaning I had slept the entire night. And I could start feeling a little tingle in my toes that I wasn't feeling before other than pain. And over the next 3 days, I got adjusted 3 times, and the pain was starting to basically disappear from my leg, and I was left with a local back pain that, to me, compared to the pain I was in before, was nothing. So after my 5th adjustment, I basically asked the chiropractor, can I go play again? And he agreed that I was ready. So after 5 adjustments, I was playing soccer again, where nobody else had ever been able to touch the pain and made any changes in my lifestyle. So now I go play my first game again, and at the end of that game, I said, you know what? I need to tell the story. I need to become a chiropractor myself, and this is how I became a chiropractor. Now that's a pretty cool story, but here's where I really made the next step, and it really changed my life. When I was laying down on that pitch, laying down on the ground in pain, after feeling that pain for the first time, I had a flashback of 1987. And let me tell you what happened in 1987. My dad had been born with a bad scoliosis and a bad kyphosis, meaning that he was hunched forward from the day he was born, living with back pain pretty much his entire life. Now, my dad was a construction worker. He needed foundations for a living. So basically, he was shoveling gravel in a mixer to make cement his entire life, every single day, day in and day out. And I can remember in the morning, my dad would come and bring me to school, and I remember my dad getting close to the stove with the stove on to warm up his back so that he can actually feel somewhat okay to go to work. Now again, in 1987, let me tell you what happened. My dad had had enough of dealing with the pain and opted in for literally exploratory surgery on his back. So he took a flight out to a city outside of our city or our town to have that surgery. It was supposed to be one surgery. After 5 surgeries, being paralyzed after the 2nd surgery from the waist down, and them doing multiple surgeries, we were getting phone calls from the nurses, not knowing how my dad was. Mom was crying, and as a 6-year-old guy, you kind of assimilate, or you kind of take that information and you deal with it as much as you can, being 6 years old. But all I can remember is that it wasn't a great time for our family. This was October 31st that my dad had left for his surgery, and was getting close to Christmas, and we didn't know if our dad was going to be able to come home for Christmas. He was told he would never walk again. He was told he'd have to learn to literally pee and poop again, because he had lost all control of his nerve supply in his lower back. He was full of Remington rods. He was in a full body cast. So we didn't know what to expect. We finally got a call right before Christmas that my dad was going to be able to come home. And I remember waiting for that day, and I waited and I waited. And what I saw was totally disappointing. What I saw was my dad come in weighing, give or take, 93 to 95 pounds. Almost no fat on him. And I thought, holy gee, somebody switched my dad. This is not my dad. And my dad then started the whole rehab process to try to learn how to walk again. And it literally changed his entire life. So when I was laying down on that pitch, I had that flashback. And I had the fear of God in me saying, oh my God, am I becoming my dad? Was this a genetic thing that's now starting to affect me? So when chiropractic changed my life and got me back on my feet, I made a commitment. I made a commitment to be healthy and do everything that I needed to do in order to stay healthy for my entire life. Because the last thing I ever want to do is to have to do what my dad did with us, which was leave us, being the major breadwinner of the family, and leave us behind. I never want to have to do that and leave my wife and my 2 kids behind. Health is a commitment, and tonight you're going to be asked to commit. And here's what I want you to think about. With all the information you've learned tonight, I want you to fast forward 20 years from now, knowing that you committed and you implemented these tools in your life. What does your life look like in 20 years? Now stay 20 years out, and after coming out of here tonight, you don't implement anything, you don't commit to changing your life, you don't commit to chiropractic care. What does your life now look like in 20 years? So which one are you going to choose? Health is a commitment. And you don't always get what you want in your life, but you get what you commit to. So tonight I ask you not to be selfish. Think about everybody that's around you that needs you to be there, and make that decision and commit to finding that better version of you that you've lost over time. Trust the process, and I guarantee you that version is going to come back. So tonight we're going to bring 3 of you back. We're going to go over your individual findings. We're going to tell you exactly what's wrong, what we're going to do to be able to help you, how long it'll take, and what your investment is going to be. So thank you so much for listening to me, and I look forward to treating you for years to come and making you and your family healthy human beings, achieving your full potential, achieving what you can and what you've always dreamt of. Thank you. So that's my personal story. And at the end, we take the patients back and we go over everything with them, and we get them to commit to chiropractic care for the first year of their structural care. And after their first year, we go over what we've accomplished, and we get them to commit to wellness care for their entire life. So use the story as much as you can. Find your story. Find what motivates you to become, what motivated you to become a chiropractor, and what inspires you every single day to show up and serve the way you do. Incorporate that in your story, and I guarantee you your conversion will go through the roof. Again, I'm Dr. Clayton Roach. Hope you found this useful. Again, I'm just a chiropractor doing it. I'm still in practice, and I'm implementing this every day in my life. And I want to be able to help you become the successful chiropractor you know you can be. Take care. Have a great day.